And that's heavy, man, because um, it's like that's on some Esau type shit, man. Because here it is, the husband dies, and then the two sons have to pay off the debt for the father. Verse 2 says, and Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, thine handmaid have not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Then he said, go borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out and passed. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, there is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. All right, so that's the work of the prophet right there, man. The prophet Elisha, man. Here it is. You had two men coming to take a woman's son, and the prophet worked a miracle, man. Then she came and told the man of the Most High, Yahweh, and he said, go sell the oil and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. And it fell on the day that Elisha passed to Shunem, where was a great woman, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in thither to eat eat bread. All right, so back on that time, man, you had the prophets working works, man. The prophets had power, man. He had power to he had power through the spirit of the Lord to have a woman get empty vessels, and then put the spirit on the woman to do as he commanded, and she got oil to pay off the debt. All right, the oil to sell that was in empty vessels, and she got the vessels filled up through the spirit of the Lord. All right, and these things were done, why? To magnify the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, to magnify the name of Yahweh, the Father. All right, and we continuing in, because it goes into to the lady that I wanted to read, and it's crazy because I didn't catch this part earlier, but that's a work of the prophets, man. The Lord is going to give his prophets power, man. All right, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua B'Hashem Rakah Kodash is going to give his men power, man, and his men are going to do things that the enemy never even fathom a man being able to do. As a matter of fact, the so-called white man, the Edomites, they look at us as a low people, but they're gonna be astonished, all right, at the power that the Lord bestows on his men, all right, in that time, man. All right, certain men, they're gonna get real spiritual power, man. All right, as a matter of fact, let me see. Let's go here real quick. Something real quick. I'm gonna go back into that Lord's will. This is Isaiah 40. What is this? Isaiah 40. Yeah, this is Isaiah 40 and 28. It says, hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power, the Lord Yahweh, all right, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, all right, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength. All right, so who are the men that have no might that he's going to increase their strength? The Lord's servants, the prophets, man. Plain and simple. All right, it says, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, and they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not faint. All right? And that's the power that the Lord is going to give to his men. Let me go to another scripture. Well, let me go back to where I was at. All right. Back in 2 Kings 4. I'm gonna start at 17. Start at 17. It says, and the woman conceived and bare a son at that season that Elisha had said unto her, according to the time of life. And when the child was grown, it fell on a day that he went out to his father to the reapers. And he said unto his father, my head, my head. And he said to a lad, carry him to his mother. And when he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees till noon and then died. So this man, he died, all right? And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, all right, and shut the door upon him and went out. And she called unto her husband and said, send me, I pray thee, one of the young men and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of the Most High and come again. And he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? And it is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, it shall be well. And back then, a lot of our people knew who the men of the Lord were, all right? All right? As a matter of fact, I think this lady in particular, she waited to see Elisha walk through, and she bid him to come upon her, and they made him a place to stay, a lodging place. All right? Then she saddled an ass and said to her servant, this is verse 24, drive and go forward, slack not thy riding for me, except I bid thee. So she went and came unto the man of the Most High to Carmel. And it came to pass, when the man of the Most High saw her afar off, that he said to Gehazi, his servant, behold, yonder is that Shunammite. Run now, I pray thee, to meet her, and say unto her, is it well with thee? Is it well with thy husband? Is it well with the child? And she answered, it is well. It is well. And she said, it is well, but it wasn't well. Verse 27, and when she came to the man of the Most High to the hill, she caught him by the feet, but Gehazi came near to thrust her away. And the man of the Most High, Yahweh, said, let her alone, for her soul is vexed within her, and the Lord, Yahweh, have hid it from me, and have not told me. Then, come on. It said, and the Lord have hid it from me. All right, because the Lord didn't let him know at the time that her son had died. All right, verse 28 it said, then she said, did I desire a son of my Lord? Did I not say, do not deceive me? Verse 29, then he said to Gehazi, gird up thy loins and take my staff in thy hand and go thy way. If thou meet any man, salute him not, and if any salute thee, answer him not again, and lay my staff upon the face of the child. And the mother of the child said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he arose and followed her. And Gehazi passed on before them, and laid the staff upon the face of the child, but there was neither voice nor hearing. Wherefore he went again to meet him, and told him, saying, the child is not awake. And when Elisha was come into the house, behold, the child was dead and laid upon his bed. He went in therefore and shut the door upon them twain, and prayed unto the Lord. All right. And he went up and laid upon the child, and put his mouth upon his mouth, and his eyes upon his eyes, and his hand upon his hands. And he stretched himself upon the child, and the flesh of the child waxed warm. Then he returned and walked in the house to and fro, and went up and stretched himself upon him. And the child sneezed 7 times, and the child opened his eyes. All right. And that's what happened. That's a work of the Lord, because he prayed before the Lord, man. And that work was done. And the scripture that comes to mind, when I read that, let me see. Let me see if I can find that. Because this scripture came to mind, it popped in my mind. This is Sirach 35:17. It says, the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, till it come nigh, he will not be conformed, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. Prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. That's the scripture that I wanted. Yeah. And another scripture that I'll end on, I'll end it with. Real quick. Let's see, 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. I ended with this. It says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. All right, so the works of the prophets, we can look into the prophets, all right, look into the history, and we'll find out that, you know, the works that the prophets did aforetime, and the power that they had, and the works that Yahushua had, we realize through the Spirit that the prophets of the Lord are going to get those same powers, man. And it's going to be intensified, because we're coming in that time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right, see what's going on. So, you know, I just did this video. Like I said, I was looking at certain things, and a few scriptures just popped into my head. And I might have been a little all over the place when I did it, but you know, it's all through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I want to give all praises, call halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing that word in sincerity and in truth. All right. Until the next episode, shalom.